animal, the veins are on top. On the posterior side of the animal, veins are on the bottom. But, so I'm holding back, you know, because I made a couple incisions, right, to kind of reveal the internal space. We can glue it all back together. So there's just a couple little windows that I cut so that you can see into the area above the heart. Okay, and so normally I'd have tie this down or something so I don't have to use my hand. But okay, so here's the heart. There's the heart. And then the large vessel that drains into the heart is the superior vena cava. This is the azygous vein right there. And then the vena cava is formed by joining together the two brachiocephalics. And then the brachiocephalics are formed by joining the jugular, this is the external jugular and this is the internal jugular, to the subclavian. So this is the left subclavian joining with the left external jugular to form the left brachiocephalic. And then the clavicle is right here, it's cut. It goes under the clavicle, becomes axillary. And then there's the four branches off the axillary. The only one you're responsible for is the subscapular. The scapula on the cat, I have it pushing on it right now, runs horizontally on the side. So that's the subscapular. And then it enters into the arm and becomes brachial. And the other side is completely symmetrical. Okay, so on this side, external jugular, internal jugular, subclavian, jugular plus subclavian, brachiocephalic, axillary, subscapular, brachial. Okay? All right, then in the abdominal cavity, obviously, where are the veins, where are the arteries? The technique is simply take take everything and kind of roll it towards you. Obviously, it's going to obscure things that are on the right side of the body, but it allows us to see everything that's, because the veins and arteries are primarily deep on the dorsal wall. Okay, and so these have been differentially injected so that you can see. Blue is typically veins and the red is typically arteries. Now I'm going to put, okay, what am I missing here? I'm going to put, okay, there's the fallopian tube. This is female. Okay, I'm going to put the fallopian tube and the kidney back where they belong, roughly there. Okay, and so, and there's the uterus there. All right, so kidney has its own vein. There's the renal vein there, coming and joining up with the inferior vena cava. This is the ovary here, and this is the gonadal vein coming from the ovary and the upper part of the fallopian tube, and it joins up with the renal. See it right there, joining with the renal, not going to the inferior vena cava on the left side. Okay, this is the gonadal artery right there, going to the ovary. Okay, and so the other thing to notice is this is the adrenal gland right there, and there you see the blue vessel running from the wall of the back over to the inferior vena cava. That's the adrenolumbar vein. Okay, so adrenolumbar, pardon me, renal, gonadal, that's on the right side. Here is the right fallopian tube, the right ovary, and see the vein. So that's the gonadal vein draining directly into the inferior vena cava. And I haven't taken the kidney and the adrenal gland out of the mesentery here, but there would be a adrenal lumbar integrated into this connective tissue. All right? Okay, so then I'm kind of pushing most of everything that's in the pelvic cavity and the abdominal cavity towards me so that you can see here at the end, see the lumbar veins? Okay. And this is where the two iliacs come together. Okay, so these are common iliacs. There's the left and there's the right common iliac coming together to form the inferior vena cava. Okay, the internal iliac goes down at the pelvis right here, and you can, from my perspective, you can see it. From your perspective, you're obscured by some glands that are associated with the bladder there. Okay, and then the external iliac leaves the pelvis and becomes the femoral vein, and then the deep femoral is right here underneath the femoral artery. Okay, veins. Okay, now the arteries are underneath the veins, so you can see the kind of almost the arborization, the tree-like characteristics of the veins. There's the heart, so here's the aortic arch. Two branches, I'm going to just pull that aside for a bit. First branch, brachiocephalic. Second branch, left subclavian artery. Now the brachiocephalic divides, and I'm going to, now from my hand, let me turn it this way. Maybe you can see it better if I turn it towards you. The brachiocephalic will divide. Can you see? I'm holding, I wish I had another probe. I'm holding the superior vena cava apart, but you see there's three branches off the brachiocephalic. It looks like a trident. Okay. First branch, left common carotid. Second branch, right common carotid. And then third branch, right brachiocephalic. And then it passes under the veins. There's the left common carotid. There's the right common carotid. And then the right clavicle's broken there, cut there. There's the right subclavian artery. It goes under the clavicle, and then it runs directly under the right brachiocephalic. The left brachiocephalic's running right underneath it. It's running right next to the axillary, and then it runs out and becomes the brachial. Okay? And on the same thing on the left side. So this is, so here's the left subclavian coming off the heart. It comes, so it's right here. There's the clavicle. It's cut, runs under the brachiocephalic, and then runs next to the axillary, and then enters into the arm and becomes the brachial. Okay? And then if we move the internal organs towards us, okay, here's the aorta. Okay, it comes through the diaphragm, and then goes all the way down to the abdominal cavity, and then branches to become external iliac on the right and left side, the median sacral that then divides into the internal iliac on the left and right side. And then the external iliac goes into the thigh and becomes femoral, and there's the deep femoral right there. Okay, now, as it comes down through the abdominal cavity, the first two branches, so here's the celiac trunk, okay, going up into the digestive organs. Here's the superior mesenteric. Okay. The renal, you can see it if you fold the kidney back. See, there's the aorta and there's the renal. The adrenal lumbar, there's the adrenal gland. I don't know, probably from your perspective it's probably hard to see, but there's the adrenal gland. The adrenal lumbar branch is right there, coming up into the adrenal gland. Now, I've got all the internal organs and everything oriented towards me. Here's the fallopian tube and the ovary. This is the gonadal. There's the gonadal artery. Okay, but if I put it back this way, see where it went? It went from here, and it just went back over to there. And there's the right gonadal. Then you notice there's all kinds of mesentery and stuff tying together all the different, here's the descending colon, and here's the inferior mesenteric going up into the mesentery surrounding the colon. So that's the inferior mesenteric right there. And then these are the two gonadal vein, pardon me, lumbar veins, and sitting right on top. You can see it on the right side. You can see one of the lumbar arteries sitting on top. The other one is on the right there on the other side. So that's the left lumbar, and there's the right lumbar. Okay? All right. And if you take the cat that's up there, it's not perfect.